All right, we're going to do a quick little live stream here. Hopefully, this is going on all right. I had everything set up because I was just with our buddy Aaron over with Small Town Monsters. I'm going to make sure that this is going out. Usually, my better half Jesse does this, so I want to make sure that we are going out live. It looks like fantastic. So I don't know if anybody will jump on here or not, but I just wanted to pop on here and just touch base with everybody that watches the channel. We had to cancel our live streams that we did last night. We had, man, it was just a perfect storm of just weird stuff. People are jumping up into the chat right now. Let me know that you can see me and hear me okay, because this is not our usual live stream setup that I'm using right now. But we, man, we had a perfect storm, literally, of stuff go wrong on our usual Tuesday night stream. And we had a really hard time addressing it because it was multiple things going on. We were looking for one particular uh, solution to it, and there was no particular solution to it. So we had general internet issues rolling in. We had some really bad storms moving through our area last night. There appeared to be some problems with YouTube itself. We had a lot of people actually tell us that they were trying to look at other live streams and they were also experiencing issues. And then we actually had some equipment issues, which were weird. So we had to kind of dive in and really kind of like get some stuff fixed up. Still in the process of getting it all kind of like straightened out on our end. It looks like the YouTube and the internet issues have resolved, but so I used Jesse's setup that she usually uses for her uh, Monday night members shows. Just go ahead and I just figured I'd hop on using this stuff right now. I just was with our good buddy Aaron from Small Town Monsters over on the Small Town Monsters YouTube channel. On their live stream, we talked about the upcoming Small Town Monsters documentary. And I wanted to pop on here because that was one of the things we wanted to talk about on Tuesday night on our live stream, but we didn't have a chance to do it. So I just wanted to get out there and just announce that, this coming Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Jesse's latest full-length documentary for Small Town Monsters will be coming out. It's Hunt for the Appalachian Bigfoot. It's basically our multi-month field investigation around the area of Blood Mountain, Georgia, and what we experienced there, looking into an area that has a very high concentration of Bigfoot sightings. So, yeah, I always have a good time talking to Aaron. I'll tell you, Aaron was one of the first friends that we made in this field when we were all kind of starting out, and it's that friendship. If he walks away from Bigfoot and we walk away from it, he's going to stay a friend of ours. He's just somebody that we are extremely fond of, and extremely, one of the smartest people out there, and somebody that we're really, as a community, we're lucky to have somebody like that involved with it. Aaron Deese is probably the best pure researcher out there right now, as far as getting in, gathering data, looking at this stuff. So anyway, we were over there with him. I had a great time talking to him. I always do. I always jump at the opportunity to kind of sit and chat with him for a little bit. He's just a great guy. But like I said, I don't even know how many people I got on here right now. I didn't mess with the thumbnail. I think I threw a picture up from, Jesse's latest investigation that she's got coming out. And that's just kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about there. I just wanted to kind of go through and, we really didn't get a chance to promo it last night, and wanted to promo it a little bit. It was a great investigation. I got to be honest, I haven't even seen the whole documentary yet. We were going out just repeatedly over and over and over again into this area, because the whole goal with Helmet Holler is just not to go in and do here's the area, here's the history of it, here's a few Bigfoot witnesses, bam, and done. There's people out there that can do that far better than we can. I think our skill set is getting into these areas with possible strange phenomena going on and documenting it. So that's how we've approached each of these small town monster documentaries at this point. And that's what we did at the area around Blood Mountain. And we were going down to the wire. Every one of these that we've done for STM, we've gone into it going, we're going to knock this out quick, and it has not happened as of yet. We get in there, we'll experience some stuff, we'll document it, and then we just go, I think we can do it better. Let's just go keep going out there. Maybe something else will happen and we'll be able to document it. So we came back and Jesse entered the editing cave, like she calls it, and started to basically, that's the other thing too, we end up with so much footage by the time this is all said and done that she has to go through, edit down to make it digestible, and then present it in a way that basically kind of gives you a good idea of what we experienced out there. So that's what she's done with this, and she's done a phenomenal job with the one coming up Sunday. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I'm going to probably watch the entire thing, like her draft, tomorrow night. I saw a rough draft on it, and it was really good. That was before all the bells and whistles got into it. So the Small Town Monsters crew that has seen it has been blown away. They've been extremely complimentary of it. They loved it. Jessie is an overachiever. Anything she does, she did a great job with it, and she had some really good raw footage to work with for this. So hopefully it's going to be everything that we hope it to be, and hopefully you guys are going to find it interesting and find it worthwhile for this stuff. So I never really ever thought about having all that footage and having to go through it all and getting it all together. I can't imagine it. For our main, I don't even know how many night investigations we did on this stuff, man. I mean, it all blended together. But for the main one, the one that we went full tilt on and the one that we had the most activity at, we had 4 different cameras, like just regular cameras, 3 thermal imagers, 2 high sensitivity audio collection devices going on, and it just, then it's great because if something happens, you've got a really good chance of capturing it. But keep in mind, we don't have a production crew. It's just Jesse. I'll help on like the review of stuff, but at the end of the day, once we get all done, that's when Jesse's, one of her many jobs really just kind of starts at that point. She has to watch everything. She has to go through everything. You can't blink, because we've had times where we've blinked, she's been editing for 12 hours and she rubs her eyes and something else happens at that point. So I think that what she's got on this one's going to be good. It's going to be, in my mind, each of the documentaries she's done for Small Town Monsters has just gotten better. It's presented better. We have gotten better at filming it, at capturing what's happening. Because when you get down to it, we're not just like documentary filmmakers. It's almost like we're like, I don't know, like it's almost like you're doing a wildlife documentary, which I guess in a way is kind of appropriate. But, you're out there in a kinetic environment. You don't really have control of anything, and you're just trying to capture and record whatever you encounter at that point. But so the STM thing, it's going to go live for the public on Sunday at 2 p.m. Now, if you're a Small Town Monsters squad member, I think it goes live Thursday. Again, my job's kind of over with when we get back, and Jesse's the one, that kind of polishes everything together. But I believe it goes for squad members Thursday, and then for the general public on Sunday. We are going to cut our field investigation short this week, and we are going to basically be in the chat, and then we're going to do a live stream on our channel after the STM documentary finishes up at that point. So that'll be a public live stream that we do on our channel after it's over. Everybody that watches the documentary, you're invited to come over. Right now, we don't really want to have a lot of spoilers, so we're not really going to talk about a lot of particulars on it. But afterwards, everybody will have seen it, and we can actually talk about what we all encountered. A buddy Hawk was actually over in Small Town Monsters live stream. Fuel for the next doc. I can curse here, can I? Yeah, I don't have ads on this. Shit ain't getting cheaper. So, but, so once that is done, and I'll tell you, it's funny because we got into this one, we got off to a late start on this latest Small Town Monster documentary. We tried to do, our original plan was we were going to do a sequel to the Wari one, which was the first STM documentary that she did. And we just kept hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. It was It was noisy at night. Um, just a lot of like off-road vehicle traffic and just regular traffic. And, the Uwharrie, it's not that big and there's roads going through it. So it's very noisy. We go into the one campground that we were at last time that we caught those great vocalizations from, and that's where the car chase kind of like originated at. Um, there's like crackheads long-term camping there. The venomous snakes were out of control. I was a couple feet away from like a copperhead that we didn't hear at night until it started to scurry off. So we just hit so many roadblocks. So we had to switch gears when we realized that it just wasn't going to happen. So we got off to a late start on this dock, and so we were just hammering it, man, week after week after week after week after week. Jesse and I both work regular jobs, A, to live, B, to help fund this. We're community supported by great people like Hawk and the people that are channel members and the people that do super chats to this. But, this is where all of our disposable income goes to. So we had to take some time off our mundane jobs and just really hammer at it out there. And, we were behind the 8 ball starting off on this, and it ended up being one for the record books. I'm telling you, we had our friends come in, Steve Strange, and that was in the LBL documentary with us. He's got a channel called Surviving the Strange. And then our friend Brooke Moreland from Florida. She has a podcast and YouTube channel called Dark Florida. We had them come in to help out. And the trailer for that is currently up. I know it's up on the Small Town Monsters, like Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if they've released it on YouTube yet. They hadn't earlier today, but it is cool, man. It's cool. It's different. It's a different investigation than what we've had previously for these really big set piece Small Town Monsters documentaries. I'll just be honest with you. I mean, with what we do, it's not scripted. It's not, you can plan certain things out, like where are we going to go to, what are we going to bring, and everything like that. But then the rest of it, it's just us hoping that whatever is out there is going to reveal itself in a way that we can document. And, sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it happens in relatively minor ways. Sometimes it happens in relatively major ways. Sometimes it expresses itself differently. Sometimes we have stereotypical Bigfoot activity, and sometimes we have other stuff happening. And even when it happens, we've got to make sure that we're doing our job and we document it in a way that can be then like displayed to the world, displayed to you guys. Here's what we caught. Here's what's out here. So thank you for that, Hawk. I appreciate you, my friend, as always. And then we had another one. Kristen Nescaf became a YouTube member, became a Legionnaire. Thank you so much. Again, we are just two plucky, intrepid Bigfoot hunters doing this. We are community supported. We don't have television networks behind us. We don't really do advertising stuff. We are just 100% focused on field investigations and getting out and trying to document this stuff. So if you ever think about maybe supporting something like that, consider becoming a channel member. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of get on here and kind of talk a little bit about that while we had everything set up. And, just kind of set the stage for what you're going to be able to see this Sunday at 2 p.m. on Small Town Monsters Network. That's a pretty good plug, man. Usually Jesse does that sort of stuff. Not bad. But it, we were looking for a place. Anytime we do one of these, we always have people recommend, oh, you need to go to Pacific Northwest. You need to go here. You need to go there. Generally for these large set piece Small Town Monsters documentaries, we try to keep it within our general region because it's not a one and done thing. We just don't go out once and then whatever we film is what we have to make a documentary out of. We just go repeatedly over and over and over and over again, trying new methodologies, going into new areas, trying different stuff to see if we, shaking a bunch of branches to see what falls out that we can like document at that point. So the area around Blood Mountain in North Georgia was somewhere that we have not really spent a lot of time in before. And it's somewhere that's got a whole hell of a lot of reported Bigfoot sightings out there. So we decided that this would be a perfect spot for us to go out and do one of these STM documentaries on. So we, so we went out there. The emergency is that we had to turn all of our live streams from last night. We tried 3 different live streams on Tuesday. I had to turn them all private because people were getting on there just constantly complaining about the audio. So we just went ahead and turned them private. They're not up now. So we did not have a chance to really kind of get in and talk about any of the stuff that we want to talk about. So that's the emergency, damn it. Take a sword with you as backup. I always carry a big, well, I can't say I do that anymore. I used to carry like a big Bowie knife with me everywhere I went to. A, it's useful as hell no matter what you got going on. And B, even with firearms, sometimes it's comforting to have a big oversized knife with you, So sword's a little much though. Probably won't do a sword. So Blood Mountain's where we decided to go to. We decided to go out there. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't the case of trying to find specific spots with reported Bigfoot activity. It was trying to focus in on the areas with the best chance because there's so much of it out there, man. There's so much of it out there. Even if you just go on the reported sightings that people have put into, the websites or the organizations that collect, compile, and then display reports like that, there's a ton. And then if you get into just the word of mouth reports through there, it's pretty overwhelming. We had a great resource in the area. Mr. David Becerra from the Expedition Bigfoot Museum in that region was kind enough to give us a few minutes of his time and give us some possible areas to work on and give us some kind of feedback, because that museum has kind of become a clearinghouse for Bigfoot reports within the region there. So that was extremely invaluable. If you watch our channel, you know that Jesse loves that. We both love the museum, but Jesse loves the museum because of the Bigfoot turd display that's there. So it was great to kind of be in there and speak to the man that's responsible for all of that. It was really cool. Very, very, very cool. But Wolfman, thank you again. Wolfman was over on the STM feed just now. Thank you so much for that, my friend. So, and the emergency is that we needed to get on. I realized that we were not going to be on again, and we were not going to talk and let people know about this documentary that's coming up. Obviously Small Town Monsters is going to promo it and do everything like that. But the whole goal of Tuesday night was to kind of talk about it and let everybody know that it's coming out, that it's here, and when it's coming. And then all the issues we ran through last night, we didn't have a chance to do it. So I wanted to hop on real quick. That's the first thing I could think of. I'm probably going to change the title when I get off of this and I have an opportunity to do more for it. Again, I'm kind of out of my element at this point because Jesse usually takes care of all of this stuff. So that area, it's the area in and around, the Blood Mountain Wilderness. It's extremely interesting, and you're going to see that in this documentary. It's a blood-soaked ground out there. It's the site of some really hotly contested land between the Creek and Cherokee tribes. There were some battles that took place out there along some of those ridge lines that were just brutal and gave a lot of the place names that really just kind of grim flavor that they have, Blood Mountain, Slaughter Creek, Slaughter Gap, places like that. And it's also somewhere that really factors heavily in the Cherokee folklore. The Cherokee talk about an entity called the Nunahee, and the literal translation is something along the lines of the people that can live anywhere. And the Nunahee were pretty unique in Cherokee folklore, and the fact that they weren't like elementals or the spirits of the dead. They weren't gods. They're called Cherokee witches. They have these very malicious evil spirits like Spearfinger, Ravenmocker, stuff like that. But the Nunahee were the closest equivalent for them are like European elves, and not like the Keebler elves. I'm talking like Legolas type elves, the size of people with just additional abilities. And one of the things that really struck me about the lore of the Nunahee is that it says that when they chose to present themselves to people, to the Cherokee there, they would present themselves in like with a human shape. And that always kind of caught my attention because I'm going, all right, so that's kind of implying that they had the ability to present themselves in other shapes. And some of the abilities that the Nunnehi had was the ability to basically stay hidden, travel great distances without leaving any sign, disappear, go invisible. A lot of things that really kind of match up with like modern day Bigfoot like encounters. The ability of these large creatures to stay hidden, to travel without being detected, to disappear right in front of you sometimes. So I'm not saying that the Cherokee were describing Sasquatch, but I'm saying that there's a lot of parallels between what they were describing and what people describe with Bigfoot encounters. So that really kind of that kind of like whetted our appetite to get in there and kind of really look around at this point. So we went up in there, and we always try to have like a respect for the folklore of an area. Um, where we operate at, it's mostly the Cherokee and Catawba tribes, usually where they inhabited at, mostly the Cherokee. And so far, the Cherokee are batting 1,000 with us. Areas that the Cherokee claimed were focal points for strange activity are the areas where we find strange activity nowadays. So that was very, very intriguing to us to have a place that factored and figured so heavily in like Cherokee folklore to be an area that we were going to go in and basically look for Bigfoot in at this point. So, um, when you see this thing Sunday, you're going to be seeing a couple of months of field investigations out there over and over and over again, sometimes just with Jesse and I. We were out there for a week with Steve Strange and Brooke Moreland. They were out there helping along. That's where we were able to really cover a lot of ground, go into like a lot of places that were pretty treacherous. So you're going to see, basically, you're not seeing just one night investigation. You're not even seeing just 1 week's worth of night investigations. You're going to be seeing the end result of months of effort and us just going out there and just beating the bushes night after night after night after night after night. So anyway, I'm going to go through the chat here a little bit. I'm not going to keep you guys on very long. Let's see. Murder slugs. When we were in the Small Town Monsters chat, murder slugs were brought up, and I had to sit there and explain to somebody who's a very major figure in cryptozoology what a murder slug was and how that's become part of the Hellbent Holler lore here. So still about those murder slugs. So anyway, we'll kind of go through here a little bit. Tammy Hardcastle. Tammy's been one of the OGs, member for 21 months. You and Jesse are the best. Your hard work and dedication are greatly noted by all your Hellbent family. This is a passion, man. I mean, trust me, we right now we're feeling it. We've hit a little bit of burnout. Jesse probably more so than me, because when we come back, I've got cases of equipment set in our living room that I got to go through and clean and organize and get it set up, because we just basically rolled in from the last investigation, unpacked. I slept for a couple hours, and then we went into our regular jobs. So, but then she's got to really just start to hammer at the editing process of it. So, but you know what? I think it's valuable work that we're doing. I mean, I think that we're really kind of making headway on trying to show that there's strange things out there. So we appreciate your support being a channel member though. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So anyway, if anybody's got anything in here real quick they want to bring up, any questions, anything like that, please go ahead and let us know. Our buddy Robin. Now, we did go, one of the things we were going to talk about is that Jesse got done with the final product on this, okay? And I'm talking, it's just so weird, man. I mean, you know that there's a lot of stuff that goes into these things that you see on TV and all that. You know that on a certain level, but until you see somebody literally just sitting here doing it, it's bananas, man. Putting music in and blending, video clips together, because there might be something exciting that happens, and then 8 hours of just us kind of climbing mountains with nothing going on before the next exciting thing happens. You just can't present it raw. So, but yeah, she does a phenomenal job. She turned that in early. We gave ourselves like a day of just cushion that in case anything went wrong, but Jesse pulled it through. So we actually crashed the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference where we spoke out last year. Uh, our friends from Small Town Monsters were there. Seth Breedlove, along with our buddy Jeff Carpenter, were actually speaking there. And we decided to, once Jesse got it uploaded, we hopped in the car, drove up. We got in around 3:30 in the morning, got a hotel, slept for a few hours, and then we went to the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. We just went as attendees, and it was awesome. We got to talk to people. We got to hang out to people. We didn't have to worry about speaking or anything like that. But, you know, it was just great to actually go up and like do that. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, the audio was just, we're having YouTube problems. I'm going to have to eventually get a dedicated camera for like live streaming. We've already got that kind of figured out. Some of our equipment's kind of aging out. I mean, we don't really have podcasting or live streaming equipment. We take the camera that we film most of our stuff on, rig it up to the laptop, and then we have, for audio, we have the Zoom recorder that we use with our parabolic that we run our mics through. So it's equipment that's getting used hard all the time. I think one of the issues we were having there is just equipment starting to age out, but then the other stuff was hitting on it as well. But some of that was outside of our control. So anyway, see what else we got here. Blueberry says STM squad members will get to see the doc tomorrow. Can't wait. And we will be, like I said, the big premiere will be Sunday at 2 p.m. The way it's generally worked is we've got some people that are hellbenders that are also, you know, support STM, and generally people will kind of watch it and then end up showing up for the big live stream discussion as well, because, you know, there'll be hopefully a couple thousand people at least watching it live coming on and in the chat. So it's always really good to have that discussion in there. It's usually a lot of fun. And then we have the, you know, the live stream discussion over here afterwards. So, what is this? Cowboy, buddy cowboy. Joe, I looked for the holler. I can't afford to be a baller signal, but YouTube let me down, bro. Yeah, I kind of just threw it on here. This was an impromptu thing. I was getting ready to, this is Jesse's usual setup. So she had to leave me written instructions on how to get everything going here. And so I did the thing with Aaron. It was an hour. I was getting ready to take it down. And then I went, you know what? I'm going to pop on here for a few minutes for I get some dinner and all that. At least kind of cover some of the stuff we wanted to cover last night. Mark, I think you asked this in the STM thing because I was kind of glancing at the chat every once in a while. Joe, have you ever found anything like hair or anything on the quartz you both find, although weather factors in? So I need to, now that we're out of this, before we go into the next and the last Small Town Monsters documentary, go out there and do some stuff with quartz. I've not found any hair on it that I can remember. We've only found possible hairs like a handful of times. But my whole thing with quartz is that for those of you who aren't familiar with it, we're finding quartz in certain areas, most notably blackthorn, a little bit at the Grove, a few other spots. And we've never known what it was. We've even said at times it could be people doing it. Most of what we see is not outside the realm of possibility for people. I don't know if it's Bigfoot related. It's just weird. It's something weird in an area with other weird things going on. You don't know what's connected. You don't know what's not connected. We don't have any of the answers for this stuff yet. So we kept seeing it in spots, and it's placed in weird areas sometimes, especially in blackthorn, it's in triangular or pyramid shapes. We don't know if that's naturally forming. Some of the stuff we found looks like it was actually shaped to be that way. There's no real way of knowing it, but I read an article that was talking about deer and how deer can see further into the ultraviolet spectrum than what was previously, you know, thought, and that deer rubbings at dawn and dusk reflect back UV light and they glow to a deer's eyes. And I don't know why that struck something with me. And if you hit regular, like that milky quartz that we find everywhere, if you hit it with a UV light, it doesn't really do anything. to my eye. But if you have a full spectrum camera that can see into the ultraviolet range, it's incandescent when it's hit with UV light. So that's what's kind of sparked this in my mind as I'm going, is something, we've got a lot of activity at dawn and dusk. That's where we get like the majority of our vocalizations that we catch and stuff like that. So seems like whatever's out there, it's often active at dawn and dusk. And I'm just wondering, is it possible that something's using this for communication, navigation, whatever? One of the things I noticed is that one of the pieces of quartz that I tested with this UV light and then this UV sensitive camera is that if there was any sort of like lichen or moss, or even sometimes dirt, even if it wasn't super visible to the naked eye, would be visible on this. It would block the UV light to a certain extent. And that opened up a whole nother chain of thought for me. I'm going, technically something, if it had the ability to see UV reflecting off of this, could put as simple as just daubing mud on it to put basically a symbol on there that might not be visible to us, but might be extremely visible to whatever this is when UV light hits it at that point. So anyway, see what else we got here for it. Buddy Hawk again, everybody's in the Discord group. And we do, if you're a channel member or you're thinking about becoming a channel member to support this, again, you're supporting the Helmet Holler project. And we also have a Discord that we have up for people to get in and discuss stuff in. But he's talking about, we have become friends with Sasquatch Theory, Miguel, and then Adam and the crew with Half Inch Wrench crew in Missouri at the Killing Fields. You will see us all together out there sometime. Killing Fields and maybe a couple other spots. Our buddy Ristel, you guys are putting out professional quality content with a fraction of the equipment, time, manpower than the professionals. Be proud. It's just two of us, man. It's just two of us. It's I maintain the equipment and kind of come up with the nuts and bolts gadgets that we use. And then Jesse, does a lot of the research planning. Where are we going to go to? What are we going to do? And then she takes care of everything on the back end, which is quite honestly the lion's share of the stuff. But we don't, we've got the support of a great community that helps out with things. Like I said, everything is funded out of like our supporters' pockets and our pockets. And it's, I think that if you look at what Jesse is able to turn out right now, it's so freaking cool, man, because, you see something on TV, you see like Bigfoot investigation shows and stuff like that. And you don't know what's real and what's not real, with us. And again, it's shot in a very compacted, short time frame. With us, we just keep hammering at it until we got something to give you, Sometimes it's a lot longer than others. And that's been the case with each of these STM things so far. See what else we got on here. Yeah, Robin, it was good seeing you. We looked for you afterwards. I know you had to run and do some stuff. Our buddy Nathan was there as well. We ran into him. He was walking around with his Helmet Holler hat on. Typhoon, the Last Titan. Joe, what you were saying about the Cherokee sounded like they were describing old Scottish fae. There is a huge parallel between the Nunnehi and Western European fae. It's undeniable. And, that's something that if you've watched this, it's been a kind of a weird thing for me to go through because, my educational background, I was very familiar with folklore. I was familiar with it, but I just, quite honestly, it was, in my mind, neat stories that our ancestors used to kind of explain the world around them, or just cool stories to tell around campfires for entertainment. And then when you get out and you start realizing that some of the stuff that you encounter in the woods has a direct parallel stories and these legends, this lore, it's still a really weird thing that I haven't really come to grips with right now. And then you start to see I was aware of the parallels between like Native American folklore, Western European folklore, but, you start to look at the fact that, at the end of the day, we're all people and people process things fairly similarly. The human condition leads you to kind of a lot of times come up with the same story, no matter what your cultural background is. But now I'm just thinking, no, they were just experiencing different stuff, I think that folklore and mythology is just basically a record of what our ancestors encountered. And it was a lot more open back then, or maybe people were more open to it. I don't know. And then a lot of superstition is kind of the roadmap that they left us on how to deal with some of this stuff. So, um, bu- 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 bum. would have gone if I'd known y'all and Seth were hanging out at the conference. We had a blast with Small Town Monsters, man. We had an absolute freaking blast. We had a blast with everybody that was there that we got to hang out with and talk to, but it was really cool kind of getting up. Usually when we see Small Town Monsters, the Small Town Monsters folks, we're doing like their LBL documentary together, or, the thing that we worked on with Seth for one of the Appalachian investigations. This was just cool to kind of hang out, and we weren't trying to rush from place to place or anything like that at all. It was just phenomenal, man. It was just really, really, really good. Let's see here. What knife do I have tonight? I actually have because I just came in from the day job and change clothes real quick. I've got this is my everyday carry knife. This is what I carry with me every single day, usually when I'm just out and about doing stuff. I'll mix it up every once in a while, but this is my workhorse. This is a Cold Steel Recon 1 clip point. It is probably the absolute best folding knife ever made, bar none. It can do pretty much a little bit of everything. It is just a phenomenal blade. Love it. Love that damn thing. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Joe, wear your glasses. I came in, and I'm not exaggerating when like I said, Jesse sets all this stuff up. I'm good on like the tech end as far as like investigative stuff, but she does all of this stuff. So I had to run in. She'd left me notes, and everything was kind of set up. So I had to cobble it together. And then I just went, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to be able to see the chat doing this. I just yanked my contacts out. So right now I don't need them. I have to wear those glasses when I got my contacts in, because then I can see at a distance. But all right, let's see what else we got here. Nathan had said, I suspect quartz is being used as some sort of portal tech. Yeah, it's, quartz has certain electrical properties and all that. And I don't know. And I put this up as a members video one time, but I went into an area where we were finding like quartz, like designs on the ground. It looked like the quartz had been laid out in designs. And I was honestly expecting to get weird readings there, and I didn't get like anything really on the EMF detector, the trifield meter, and everything like that. So I don't know. The UV thing's my current obsession with this stuff. It's not as exotic as possibly like, any sort of like strange, like, electromagnetic properties, but that's kind of where I'm running at right now. So, and let's see what else we get. Hey, Andrew. Yeah, I didn't do an announcement. I just went and did just jumped up on it here. Joe's building a fortress of solitude slowly out of quartz. That quartz thing, man, if you follow this channel, you know that when we're doing that members live stream, and we've got some people, you run across, you step on people's toes, people get upset that you maybe are not doing the things they want you to do and everything like that. And, it's the Bigfoot encrypted community. There's always grudges and feuds and whatnot going on, but we had some people try to claim that we were hoaxing that quartz. It became like a running joke with us. They tried to paint us in a bad light on Reddit and everything like that. And it was like a big deal that we just kind of laughed off. But we were kind of vindicated and all that, because that was a members video that when we were there filming it, we went live for members for a little while because we had a little bit of signal on that spot. And then we were even discussing it in our Discord. So the people that saw it had the full complete picture of it. And we had a bunch of people join the membership, I think, just to kind of see what was going on with that. And a lot of them didn't leave. That was like our biggest increase in like membership, which is how we buy our gas and our batteries and pay for the camera that is aging out now and everything like that. So that ended up being like the best thing that ever happened to us. And now somebody in the chat will have to remind me, it's like Outdoor Gear Review or something like that. It's a pretty sizable YouTube channel that does outdoor gear reviews. And they've done some Bigfoot adjacent stuff before, because he has I'm just going off what I've heard as secondhand information. I haven't seen any of this. So if I'm incorrect, please correct me. But he has had some experiences in the woods, especially at night, that would lend you to believe that he's encountering Bigfoot. He operates in the Carolinas, and he is coming across the same courts that we're coming across. So that's like outside verification that this is something. I don't know what it is. We're not saying it's Bigfoot. I don't know what it is. Is it people out there doing it? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know why, but it's happening in these areas where other weird stuff's happening at. And now and this is not a Bigfoot dude, he has experienced it as well. So we have been vindicated as far as the courts goes. It's a proud day on the holler. So I'm not going to keep you guys on too long. I'm just going to kind of go through. Paranormal Appalachian Research Team, glad to see you guys. I got to check out y'all's channel, see what y'all have been into lately. So Tammy had said, I remember you and Jesse thought the courts was like a trail or a pathway to get around, like mapping the area so they can navigate and let others know how to return to places year after year when they migrate. It might be. I don't know. I mean, I got theories, but that was the thing that came up when people claimed we were saying that Bigfoot did it. And I'm going, no, I don't know what it is. I just know it's something weird that's happening in a place with other weird stuff. I don't know. So, I'll tell you one thing though, too, is that I've gotten, my mind just wanders with this quartz stuff. In the area where we have found pyramids and triangles, and some of it might be naturally forming. Again, I don't know. We don't see that to that degree anywhere else, but some of it does seem like it's shaped. There's some old cemeteries in there, one of which has some like old Masonic graves with like tall, like marble spires. And we were thinking, is something trying to emulate what it's seeing here? Some of the stuff we found looked like little white quartz arrowheads. We've got one in the other room that we hold up on live stream sometimes. And I'm like going, one of the stories you always hear is that before Europeans arrived, that there would be trading that would take place sometimes between indigenous tribes and Native Americans and some of these like Bigfoot, and I had a thought one night where I'm going, we're seeing things that look like they're carved into arrowheads. And apparently quartz is very hard to nap and shape things out of. It's something that's extremely difficult to do, to get it to chip the way you want it to. And I was almost thinking, man, was there something out here that used to trade with the tribes in this area? And, they were displaced by the Europeans, and now the settlers that were there, nobody's there in these areas anymore. Is it still kind of trying to do this, hoping that the people that it used to trade came back? I don't know. Just a weird little thought I had. So see what else we got through here. Paranormal Appalachian Research Team. Joe, what's your favorite piece of unorthodox equipment? Something that most wouldn't think to bring out in the field. As far as exotic tech goes, a couple things. I think we really pioneered the use, and I think Goshawk had mentioned this earlier, of using drop recorders, just randomly throwing temporary recording devices out and blanketing a pretty big area with them, laying them down on our trail and everything like that. It's pretty commonly used equipment, but I think we were using it in an uncommon way. And then when we were running lightning detectors, now, actually, I got that off of the Skinwalker Ranch dudes. We had never seen that show, but we were finding those weird RF signals that matched up with what they were finding, and people told us to go check it out. Like that 1.6 gigahertz like signal that we were coming across. So when I went to go check that out, I saw them wearing lightning detectors, and I went, that's a good idea. So we stole that from them, and we've gotten some weird readings on it before. So those aren't like super unorthodox, but it's not something you see every day with a lot of people we've actually gotten some pretty good stuff from them. So Andrew, Joe, that's why I'm still a skeptic, because half the stuff I see on Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it, because 75% of the stuff being put out there is basic BS. So I stick around. I'll tell you that I am aware of the fact that when you just really look at it and you take away all preconceived notions, a lot of the weird stuff that we encounter, I don't see how it matches up with Bigfoot. It's almost like we're experiencing outdoor paranormal phenomenon. That if we were experiencing this stuff inside a building, we'd be calling an exorcist. But because we're in the trees, people are thinking it's Bigfoots. I don't know, man. All right, let's see. And let's see what else we got here. Kind of going through the chat. It's just me doing it solo tonight. If you got anything you want me to address, go ahead and throw it in here. I'm not going to be on there too terribly long because I'm going to go eat here in a minute. But I just basically wanted to kind of really hammer home the, really kind of hammer home what we got going on here. So Wolfman again, Appalachia and Scottish Highlands, the same mountains, the same mountain range. They were connected back in the day. So there's the debrief show going to be on Tuesday. So what we're going to be doing is that the Small Town Monsters doc will come out Sunday, 2 p.m. It'll be an hour and 45 minutes. She was going to do a shorter one, but every single one she's done has been around an hour and 45 minutes. We're going to do a live stream after that. I just talk about the documentary, do everything like that. Then Jesse will more than likely be doing her Monday members show. And then we'll be doing a regular live stream on Tuesday, probably rehashing some of that stuff as well. So you will be very tired of us by the time it's all said and done. Scorpius on here arguing with somebody. There we go. That's our man. Scorp, so ride or die, baby. Ride or die. So, Boo Bear, you hear about earthquake lights, which happen before, during, or after earthquakes, could be from huge deposits of quartz generating energy. Yeah, we looked a lot into earthquake lights when we were doing Brown Mountain lights, when we were researching into that. Mysterious light phenomena, it's something that we've ran into quite a few times. Especially in the Southern Appalachians, there's a million names for them: witch lights, spook lights, ghost lights, will-o-wisps, just, everything like that. But it's, I think that there are explanations for some of these lights out there, but I haven't seen a one-size-fit-all explanation for all of them. So I'm going to kind of catch up with this, and then we are going to Danger Dave, you could get into reviewing gear, Joe, make it like a sideline. Yeah, the problem we run into is that time is always the big consideration. It's always, usually what'll happen is I'll get off work, regular job on Fridays, and then we go out for field investigations, come back in, get a couple hours sleep, go back into work. So we need to find out a way to, because we can't really do advertisers with what we do. We can't stop in the middle of the action and like plug whatever weird web product we would have to plug to get some advertising dollars, which would come in handy doing this, like with some of this stuff. But just doing the gear reviews, it's just time I don't have. Anything like that, I don't have like really any spare time nowadays. Like with this, doing this tonight, this is going to push me back into other stuff. So I'd like to do that. I just don't know if I'd be a very good gear reviewer, or if like the gear that I would be doing reviews on people would care about, The outdoor gear review is the channel, and Luke is the guy finding the quartz. There we go. So quartz trade theory. Yep. It just seemed like I'm looking at it with a little arrowheads, and I'm like, is something out here doing this? Like wanting the people that, and I know that's a crazy theory, but I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, all of it's crazy, man. So, let's see here. See what else I got out here. It's actually a good idea. Take foreign quartz from another area, put it out there and see if it pisses them off. I might give that a shot. So, all right, I'm going to kind of work my way down to the end of this, and then I'm going to wrap it up here in a minute. Lady Wolf, that's the crazy part is that when you get down to it, I always forget all of the weird crap that we have dealt with and experienced doing Hellbent Holler. And then I talk to other people, and then I kind of like explain it, and then I go, I sound like a crazy person right now to somebody who hasn't seen all of this stuff and done it. But no, that was a good question. I got to share a crazy story with it. So all right, let's see what else we got here. This part is garbage. The rest is mediocre. So I'm gonna wrap it up here in a minute, guys. If you guys got anything, go ahead and throw it in here. I don't want to keep y'all on here all night long. But it's gonna be a busy week for Hellbent Holler stuff. And then to be honest with you, Aaron somebody else had mentioned that we need like there's like lore here. We've developed lore here. We have developed, there have been recurring things that we've experienced. There's been a little weird one-off things, but we've been doing this long enough that, yeah, we need like an encyclopedia to do all of this stuff, man. So, anyway, anybody got anything else out here? And if not, I'm gonna wrap it up. Here. We will, like I said, so you might see us briefly. We might try to do a little thing to kind of promote. Here's the deal, man. Like in the grand scheme of things, like we're kind of a anomaly ourselves doing this. We are doing very tech intensive, labor intensive field investigations with little to no resources and just 2 people. We don't have a network behind us. We've just got a small but growing community of like-minded weirdos. And we're trying to show that, you know what, you can do this stuff without being part of that corporate machine, We're kind of like Jesse is always just like, we're like the punk rock Bigfoot hunters out there. So, that's why we've gotten offers to do stuff with like various people, but Small Town Monsters is like the epitome of like, independent documentary filmmaking, so being able to do this with them, I just, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I got some ulterior motives for that. I'm extremely proud of what Jesse has been able to do with this stuff, man. I mean, Jesse started out editing our videos on a clearance laptop that we got from Walmart. And it had the free video like editing software on it. And we were using a secondhand used Chinese knockoff camcorder that we got off Amazon warehouse. And we realized that, you could have the best evidence in the world and nobody would watch it if you didn't present it in an enjoyable manner. And that the TV shows had really great production values, but it just wasn't real. And then a lot of the real stuff just wasn't presented that well. And we wanted to we're type A personalities. We wanted to be good at all of it. And Jesse's gotten exceptional at it. Jesse's gotten exceptional at being able to, Jesse is a legit, true documentary filmmaker now. And it's cool. And I want these to be a real success for her. So we are going to try to hammer it to everybody to try to get out there and watch it and share it. So anyway, we are going to be getting out of here. I'm going to be getting out of here. You might see Jesse and I again, maybe Friday night, something like that again, doing a little plug for it. Help spread the word for it if you don't mind. Try to show up on Sunday at 2 p.m. if you don't mind. I would really, really, really appreciate it. So I'm going to put this in here. I don't know how this is meant. Even if you had the clearest legit photo ever, people would say AI. To a photo, I probably would say AI. And if it's a 10-second video clip, I probably would assume it's AI. But luckily for us and what we do, you would have context to it. You would have what happened before the sighting itself on camera, and then what happened afterwards. And we wouldn't just present that 10 seconds of it. We would present the entire thing and then have the SD cards and the accompanying footage available to be, examined if and when we catch that modern day Patterson-Gimlin footage ourselves. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys and gals. I appreciate y'all popping in and listening to me babble for a little bit. And I'm going to be on the Discord later on this evening, if anybody's on there. And if you are a member, if you're a channel member and you're not part of our Discord, shoot me an email, hellbentholler@gmail.com. Put Discord in the subject matter line. We'll need to verify you are who you say you are. Strangely enough, there are people that try to get in and disrupt stuff. So we have to try to make sure everybody's who they say they are. But if you want to get on board and join the fun, let me know. You guys have a good night. Thank you all so much. And I'll talk to you all soon. Later.